I was going to ask, is it tactical empathy that you're employing, or is it just because there's a difference, right?
Well, it depends upon your point of view. I mean, we put the word tactical in front of empathy to get people to think about it differently, because unfortunately, empathy today has become synonymous with sympathy or compassion, and it's not. Now, you got to have empathy to get the compassion. A friend of mine, Steve Kotler, who wrote the book The Rise of Superman, among others, says empathy is about the transmission of information. Compassion is the reaction to that transmission. But unfortunately, that's not the way it's looked on in today's modern vernacular. So put tactical in front of it just to look at it as a skill, like a cell phone or a scalpel. Mm-hmm. Either one of those instruments can either do good or evil depending upon whose hands they're in.
Right.
A cell phone is not evil by definition. Somebody orders the murder of another person via cell phone. That doesn't make the cell phone evil. It's whose hands the tool is in. Mm-hmm. So empathy, I've even seen articles that said the dark side of empathy, because of how much influence you can gather with somebody if you really understand how empathy works. So tactical empathy is to understand it principally with what we've learned from neuroscience, guys like Andrew Huberman, who we were just talking about. How does neuroscience tell us a brain probably works more accurately than psychology did, because neuroscience you can put a person in an fMRI and watch their brain react.
Yeah, we know where it's happening in the brain. Yeah.
Much more. And then also you can, one of the experiments that backs up tactical empathy on a regular basis, because if you're in a bad mood, or if you're not going to like what I have to say, the wrong way to say it would be, you're not going to like what I have to say. I don't want you to react negatively. Mm-hmm. That would be the wrong way to say it. Now, the 2 millimeter shift would be for me to say, you're going to react negatively to this. You're not going to like it. This is going to sound harsh. Now, that keeps those circuits from lighting up in your brain. It's like being warned before the doctor gives you a shot. If the doctor says it's going to hurt and he hits you with the needle, you appreciate that you were warned, mm-hmm. and you were braced and prepared for the pain. If the doctor all of a sudden just stabbed you, you'd be mad. Also, if the doctor said, I don't want you to think this is going to hurt, and then he stabbed you, you'd be like, look, dude, you were lying to me. That hurt like hell.
Yeah. Trust is gone.
The trust is gone. So the warning, it's how you give the warning.
Yeah.
Now, they did this experiment's been duplicated a number of different times. The first time I read about it was in a book called The Upward Spiral. I can't remember the author's name. But they put people in fMRI to watch the electricity in their brain. And then they show them a photo that causes them to have some sort of negative emotional reaction. I don't know what the pictures were. Could have been puppies in the rain, could have been little old ladies, could have been homeless children. I don't know. They show the people the picture, and they watch the circuits that are associated with negative emotions light up. And then they simply say to the people, what are you feeling? Identify. Mm-hmm. Self-label. We would call this a label. You sound angry. You seem upset. I feel angry. I feel upset. Whatever it is. Every single time the person simply called out the emotion, the negative emotion, the electrical activity diminished. Every time. Now, the only change in calling out the negatives is how much is it diminished. Mm-hmm. So tactically, if I know that if I call out a negative versus denying it as a means of my empathy, it'll accelerate the effects.
Right.
And hence the term tactical.
Gotcha. I appreciate that distinction. Can you just define then sympathy for us, just so we have a counterpart?
As a layman, I would define sympathy as me feeling what you feel. You feel sad, I feel sad.
Yeah.
On the crisis hotline I volunteered on a long time ago, they drew a real distinction, because sympathy is when someone's in emotional quicksand and you try to get in the quicksand with them. Now you're both in quicksand. Nobody gets out. Mm-hmm. Empathy, on the other hand, is identifying that they're in quicksand and then helping them figure a way out.
Yeah, the image that came right to and this is probably just a little clue into how my brain works. I thought of, myself eating an ice cream cone, and then the scoop just falls right on the ground.
Yeah.
And you're watching that from a distance, and you go, "Oh, that's the sympathy part, right?"
Well, that could be either one.
Okay.
That's really close. If I watch your ice cream scoop down, you're like, oh, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Your actual reaction is going to be like, I don't care how you feel. That doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form. I appreciate maybe that you want to be there with me, but that doesn't get my ice cream back up. It doesn't change my sense. You sharing the loss with me does not diminish my loss at all.
Right. Yeah.
And, and unfortunately, that's so many people learn it the wrong way, because what are our examples? The examples that we see are movies and television, and it's always wrong. Somebody says, yeah, I lost somebody once too. Like, I don't care who you lost.
Right. You just made it about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's completely about you. But in the movies or in the TV, when somebody says that, the person goes, oh, thank God. Or when a person says, we've all felt that way one time or another.
Right.
Like, you really don't care.
It just invalidates the other person's feelings right away, right? It's
Unfortunately, it has a tendency to do that. But we see these bad models in movies and TV, and then people say, oh, well, it worked on MacGyver, or it worked in the Avengers, or it worked in Justice League.
Yeah.
I'll try that in real life.
Yeah.
And you try it in real life, and the other person, if they don't get angry, maybe they're in an emotional place enough to at least appreciate that you tried.
Yeah.
And that's the best you can. Well, you screwed this up, but I thanks for trying.
Right. My favorite pseudo attempt at feelings is the "I'm sorry you feel that way," right?
Yeah.
As if that's an apology.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry you feel that way. I have no responsibility in this, but you're like dodging
maybe you
the
do,
apology, right?
I'm sorry you think I lied.
Right.
No, you lied.
You definitely did.
No, you definitely. And you're sorry that I caught you. That's what you're really sorry about.
Right. Or you lost a deal.
I mean, we were just sitting back, chopping it up, reminiscing about the good old days and all that. Tracking my roots, where I came from and where I'm going. But like I say, man, always said it. It's not about the destination. Nope. It's all about the journey. Ain't nothing changed but the weather. The dangling carrot that hang from the rear view. Your dreams in the past ain't nowhere near you. Backseat drivers got nothing but 2 cents. Shotgun riders too biased, they all liars. I should get an A for effort, I'm too tired. But I'm never giving up, that's why I'm kinda admired. Role model, like it or not, I gotta play it.